Welcome in this second lecture from Halliday-Resnick-Crane, Volume 2, 5th edition. First of all, I have already discussed in Chapter 25 few MCQ solution from the electric charge and Coulomb's law. The link is in the description below, you can check that. Now I will discuss Chapter 26 from Halliday-Resnick-Crane, that is about the electric field. So let's begin about the MCQ solution. First of all, here question 1 is the electric field is defined in equation 26.3 in terms of Q naught, a small positive charge. So, equation 26.3 is E is equal to F by Q naught. Electric field is basically the force experienced by any unit charge Q naught and the presence of any source charge capital Q, you can say that. If instead the definition were in terms of the small negative charge of the same magnitude, if I taking instead of Q naught minus Q naught charge, right? Here Q naught is the positive point charge that is very less in magnitude as compared to the source charge. If I taking negative to minus Q charge, then what happened on the original field, the newly defined field will be. Option A is would point in the same direction, have the same magnitude, would point in the opposite direction but have the same magnitude, would point in the same direction but have a different magnitude, or would point in the opposite direction have different magnitude. Okay, so here from the formula, E is equal to F by Q naught. F is the Coulomb's force of electrostatics between two charges. One is source charge, it's Q naught, and the other one is the minus Q naught charge, right? So one is the plus Q charge and the other is Q naught point source charge. Their force exists like this one, I can write here. Okay, so if I put the value of F here, we get this one, and Q naught is actually cancelling with this Q naught, and you get K capital Q or R square. So from here you can see that this electric field is only depend upon the source charge, and there is no consent of this electric field from the test charge. So test charge is either negative or positive, it's not affecting the magnitude of the electric field, right? But due to negative charge, you know that if it is Q naught, so there will be the force of repulsion between these two charges, so as the electric field. But if it's Q naught and here is minus Q naught charge, then there will be the force of attraction between these two charges, right? So like this one. So option B is the correct option, in which it is said that they have the opposite direction but the magnitude will remain same. Now move toward the next question. This question is a point charge plus Q is located at the origin. Here you can see that plus Q is located at the origin. This is x-axis, this is y-axis, and plus Q charge is located here. At a point, and another point charge plus 2Q is located at x is equal to a distance. So at this is origin, and at somewhere distance x is equal to a, there is another charge plus 2Q. Which of the following statement could be true? Close to the charges, the electric field can be 0 of the x-axis. Close to the charges, the magnitude of electric field can be maximum of the x-axis. The electric field can be 0 somewhere between the charges, or the electric field can be 0 on the x-axis at finite point, not between the charges. Statements, number of statements could be true. So let's begin that how is it possible and how I just write that option B and C is correct. From plus Q charge, these are field lines, and with plus 2Q, if I look at the point this one, right, the electric field from this charge is here, and the electric field from these point charges are basically, if I extend this field, then this will be here. So at this point, there is possibility that electric field could be maximum of the axis. Also at this point, field due to plus 2Q charge is this one along this direction, and plus Q charge is along this direction. So both will support each other, and of the axis there is possibility that the electric field would be maximum. So option B is the correct option, right? So now Now why the option C is the correct? It is saying that the electric field can be zero somewhere between the charges. So here plus q charge is directing outward and plus 2q charge is also directing outward. So somewhere in between there is possibility, as both are cancelling each other out. So there is possibility in between 0 and A, there is a point where the electric field could be 0. So option C is also the correct option. Now move toward the question number 2, option B. In which of the following region might there exist a point where the electric field can be 0? So here this is the region somewhere in between 0 and A where the electric field could be 0, as I have already shown you here. So this option is the correct option. This is incorrect, as minus infinity is less than x is less than 0 is point somewhere minus infinity here and 0 here, like right, and here the electric field is maximum, not 0. Okay, next option is option C. A is less than x is less than infinity. A is less than x and less than infinity. So at this point there could be anywhere this one, and here you can say that as you have already seen that here both electric field are supporting each other, so it could not be possible that here could be the 0. This is only somewhere in between this one. Option D is E does not vanish in the region minus infinity less than x is less than infinity. So minus infinity is there, plus infinity is somewhere there, and in between there is a region, this point, where the electric field could be 0. So option D is also incorrect. Next question is question number 3. Here a point charge plus q is located at the origin, you can see that, and a point charge minus 2q is located at a distance x is equal to a from this q charge, right? So which of the following statements could be true? Close to the charges the electric field can be 0 off the axis. Now let's draw the field lines. For this it's saying that close to the charges the electric field can be 0 off the axis, right? So here plus q charge is in this direction and minus q charge is in this direction. If I extend this one and taking it as here, so both are cancelling each other. There is possibility that it is 0 here or in this region. So option A is the correct option, as it is asking what number of statements that could be true, right? Option B is the close to the charges the magnitude of electric field can be maximum of the axis. No, close to the charges this is not possible that the electric field could be maximum. So option C is the electric field can be 0 between the charges, as between the charges here electric field are plus q charge is here and for minus q charge it is there, and both are actually supporting each other. So electric field here can be maximum but not the 0, right? So option C is also not the correct option. Now option D, the electric field can be 0 on the axis at finite point, not between the charges. Yes, at here or here it can be 0. So option D and option A both are the correct option. Question number B, 3 part B is in which of the following region might there exist a point where the electric field have 0 magnitude? As I have already told you that the electric field can be 0 here or there. So its minus infinity is less than x is less than 0. So here the electric field can be 0. So this option is the correct option. 0 is less than x is less than a is point somewhere in between 0 to a, and here you can see that the electric field is having its maximum or largest value. So option B could not be the correct option. A is less than x is less than infinity. The magnitude of electric field on the axis of a uniform ring of charge. For uniform ring of charge, the electric field could be defined here as this one. So E of Z will have its largest value where? Where it's having the largest value? I have already written here 0 is less than Z is less than infinity. How is it possible? So start from the first option, Z is equal to 0. Why it is not 0? So here r is multiplying with z. If I put z is equal to 0, then all of the EZ will be 0, and we are asking about the largest value, so this option is incorrect. Next is z is equal to infinity. If I put here as z is equal to infinity, then what would happen here? When I put z is equal to infinity, then infinity or infinity form, that is undefined form. So option C can also be not be the correct option, not be the correct choice. Okay, so if I took at A and C are correct, so only the left option is option B. This is the correct option. Next question is EZ can be 0 where? Here you can see that when z is equal to 0, the only possibility when EZ could be 0. So option A is the correct option. Now move towards the question number 5. Consider the magnitude of the electric field on the x-axis of a uniformly disk of charge. On the axis of uniform disk of charge. The formula for the uniform disk of charge for electric field at any point q naught. Here the q naught means that we are testing at this point. So EZ is equal to sigma over 2 epsilon naught into 1 minus z over square root z square plus r square. Question A part is E of z will have its largest value where? You can see that EZ is equal to sigma over 2 epsilon naught 1 minus z over this. If all this term is equal to 1, then 1 minus 1 you get 0. So EZ will be 0. If this value is equal to somewhere greater than 1, then this would be negative, right? So this is also not the correct option. If this value is having somewhere 0 less than 1, like 0.9, 0.8 or 0.7, then 1 minus 0.9 or 0.8 or 0.7. You are subtracting this value from 1. Then when this is multiplied to this one, you get a very small value, not the largest value. For largest value to occur here, this is the only option you have is z is equal to 0. So when z is equal to 0, 1 minus 0 you get 1, and you are having the largest EZ. So option A is the only correct option. This is incorrect, this is also incorrect, and this is also incorrect. So option A is the only possibility when E of z will be having its largest value. So question 5 option B is EZ can be 0 where? Where it could be 0? At z is equal to 0. If I am putting z is equal to 0, then it's having its largest value, so option A is not possible here. 0 is less than z is less than infinity. Is this possible value? No, this is also not the possible value. C could be only 0 when second term is equal to 1, right? If this is equal to 1, then we are only having the 1 minus 1, you get 0. So from this not hospital rule, it's pronounced as L'Hopital rule. It's used in the mathematics. So z over z square plus z square. I can take z square common from this one. When it is coming out of the square root, then it becomes z. So what you get? 1 plus r square over z square. So only possibility that here z is cancelling with this one. We are only left with 1 when z is equal to infinity. When you are writing here infinity, then something over infinity you get 0. So 1 plus 0 you get 1. 1 over 1 to get 1. So the only possibility when to get the value z is equal to infinity is the value when you get here 1, and 1 minus 1 you get EZ is equal to 0. So option C is only correct option. This is question number 7, figure 26-23. Here you can see figure shows the electric field lines around 3-point charges A, B and C. Which charges are positive? C and A are positive charges. As you know that the field lines from the positive charges are always directed outward, as positive charge is considered as source. From source, field lines are basically getting outward or moving towards in the outward direction, right? From charge A, you can see that its the direction of field lines is outward. From charge C, it's also outward direction. Field lines are also in outward direction. But for charge B, the field lines are actually coming or coming inwards toward the charge. So only A and C is having the positive charge. Now question 7, option part B. Which charge has the largest magnitude? Here you can see that you can see about the magnitude of the charge from their field lines. If the field lines are very closely spaced, then the charges are very massive or heavy. Secondly, the angle between these field lines is, if smaller, then they are also having the largest magnitude. Third one, you can check the number of field lines. Here for A, field lines are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For B, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. And for C, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So the only option here we have is option C, as it's having the largest field line, as well as the angle. You can see that as compared to other one is very smaller, the field lines are very closely spaced to each other, so it's a greater possibility that charge C is having the largest magnitude of all the charges. Next is in which region of or regions, in which region or region. It means that there could be a possibility that you are having more than one region where the the electric field can be zero. Electric field is also where electric field could be zero. This is also known as null region or charge free region. So here there are field lines like this one or this one or this one, right? So the region where there are no field lines are basically charge free region. So this is the null region, this is the null region, right? This is the null region. So near A, this is A, and near A this is the null region, and near C as well, this is the region where there is no field line. That's why this is also considered as there is no electric field to exist, or this is the charge free region or null region. Now the next slide is about the question number 8. The small spheres, three small spheres x, y and z, x, y and z, x, y and z, sorry. They are carrying charges of equal magnitude with signs shown in figure. Like these charges having equal magnitude, but sign is basically telling them about this is positive and this is negative charge. They are placed at the vertices of an isosceles triangle. This is, if you just draw it like this one, then it's actually making a triangle. Okay, this is a triangle. Now the distance equal x and y. Now the distance between x and y and x and z is equal. Sphere y and z are held in place, but sphere x is free to move. This sphere y and z, these two spheres are actually fixed, but x is free to move. So what is the direction of the electric force on the sphere x at the point shown in the figure A, B, C, D, E? So what is actually the direction of electric force? Now for positive charge, it's starting from here like this one. Okay, so at this point you are taking Q as the test charge. So the field line for this is like this one. Okay, now for negative charge, the field lines are actually towards this direction, so as the electric force is. So I write here, and I am just combining all these vector due to these charges in this region, and it's actually becoming the option D is the correct option. Okay, you are combining them through head to tail rule, and according to that rule, this is actually the option D, which is the correct option. Next question is its second part. Which path will sphere x take when released? When it will release, then what path it could take? This will take this path. Okay, so option D here is the correct option for this one actually, because there is positive charge and here is negative charge, so there is the combined effect of these charges on this plus charge, as it's negative charge, and negative charge is basically attracting to the positive charge, so it will, there is possibility that it will move towards this one. Why I have not choose the option E? Because for option E the field lines are like this one, and you know that there is positive charge, so it's repelling from the positive charge. So this is not possibility that it will choose this path to move toward this region, right, toward this negative charge. Okay, so option D is the correct option. Now question 9. An electron is located in the uniform electric field established between parallel charge positive and negative plates. Where would the electron experience the greatest electrostatic force? When charge is closer to the positive plate, closer to the negative plate, when electron is midway between the plates, when electron experience the same charge or same force regardless of the location between the plates. So here this is positive plate and this is negative plate. If I release a negative charge Q, then it will definitely move toward the positive plate. But here it is asking about the electrostatic force that is experienced by this charge. So if I take a look here, the electric field is uniform. It's starting from positive and ending at the negative charge. Okay, so like this one, it's having the same or similar charges as the charges are uniform here. So as the electric field is right. Now electric field is E and force experienced by charge is equal to QE. As you know that we are having electron, so charge is not going to be changed. So the only value is E. E is uniform here, so it means that E is constant. If E is constant and Q is constant, so it means that the electric field, electric force experienced that by the electron is same. Either it is here, 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 or somewhere mid or closer to the positive charge or negative charge, it will be same. Okay, so option D is the correct option. So our next and last question is, the following movements were made of the charges in units of 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb on a series of charged droplets. What is the largest possible fundamental unit of charge that can be deduced from these data? As you know that the smallest fundamental unit of the charge in coulomb, okay, 1.6 multiplied 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb is the smallest possible charges. And as you know that the charges are basically quantized in nature, it means that you can never say that the 1.5 charge is actually moving from one sphere to another sphere. You always talk about one electron is moving from one body to another, or two electrons are moving, or three moving, or four moving. So you are talking about in a quantized or specific or defined quantity. So actually whenever you just define a charge, this is in terms of this one, Q is equal to NE, where E is the fundamental unit of charge, that is 1.6 multiplied 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb charge on the electron, and N is the integer. That integer could be 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. So here you have to tell which one is the largest charge. So all of these charges could be the multiple of what? Multiple of E. Okay, so 9.6 is multiple of 6 into 1.6, right? So power is the same as it's also mentioned in the question in the unit of terms for minus 16. So you have to just check only these quantities, 1.6, either 1.6, or you have to check 4.8, or you have to check 9.8, 9.6, or 48. Okay, so I have checked here. 9.6 is 6 into 1.6, so it's possible this is having 6 times of this one charge. Okay, next is 4.8, it's the 3 into 1.6, so here N is 3. Okay, so here the only possibility that this Q is largest value is that the number N is having the largest, because E is already constant. You know that 1.6 multiplied 10 to the power minus 19. So this N, if this N is greater for any of these values, that would have the largest possibility of the largest possible fundamental unit. Okay, so what is that? 1.6. For 48, it's 30 times of 1.6, which means that here N is 30. So N is having largest value for 48. So option D is the correct option, that it is having the largest fundamental unit of the charge. Okay, thank you.